As you can see, this heel is, you know, rather small. It's probably 1.5 inches. Although it's not very high, I mean, look at this boot, you guys. When I walk into a room wearing this, trust and believe, no one is looking at the heel. This is Dee with Pretty and Things. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. Well guys, I am back with a new video, a new hypergamy video. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the art of femininity. People talk about, oh, you need to be feminine and femininity, but what is it exactly, and how do you accomplish it? What are the things you need to do, you need to be aware of? What are the tips and tricks that will help you accomplish the goal of femininity? Now, before we get started, you guys, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, you guys. Subscribe, and hey, if you like this video, don't forget to like it. And also, you guys, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So you guys, well, let's get into it, because I actually have quite a bit to say on this topic. I'm going to begin with one aspect of, you know, femininity that is rather important, and that is wearing heels. Now, you know, if you've watched other like channels such as mine, you know, that focus on hypergamy and femininity, this is a consistent theme. Women needing to wear heels. I mean, and it does look more attractive. It elongates the leg, and I am definitely a, you know, proponent of, you know, wearing heels. However, you know, the 5-inch stiletto heel is not for everyone. You know, walking in heels is an art form. It really is. And, you know, I've seen other channels that simply say, you know, if you don't know how to walk in heels, learn. You know, it's just not that simple. So if you're a person who has never walked in heels, or you're a person like me who is kind of semi-retired, because I've always been a high heel, you know, stiletto girl, I'm going to just show you guys some alternatives, because the one of the aspects of hypergamy and meeting and attracting high value men is confidence. And you cannot be confident if you are worried about something as basic as walking, because, you know, you're going to fall on your ass in these high heel shoes. So I'm going to show you some shoes that I wear. They're nice, they're comfortable, they're sexy, and they're very feminine, but they're not, you know, 6-inch stilettos. So firstly, this is a shoe that, as you can see, has a thicker heel, and that's what I kind of look for now, you guys. I love a nice, you know, this is a, you know, relatively high heel, probably like 3.5 inches. That's just not bad, but it has the thicker heel that makes it much easier to walk in. Another thing I look for are shoes with this sort of bottom, these sort of ridges, because that gives you a bit more traction. So, you know, you guys, I will actually link these shoes below if you are interested. But this is a shoe you can wear with a dress, you can wear with slacks. It's, you know, very pretty, that two-tone black and maroon shoe. So this is one, you guys, one option if you know, want to wear heels and you want to look feminine, but you are not trying to wear those 6-inch stiletto heels. Another option are these like sort of Mary Jane heels. As you can see, you know, it's a little bit thinner heel than the previous one I showed you, but it's not that high. It's about, again, about 3.5 inches. But one of the things that make this shoe a much more comfortable and easy to walk in is the fact that it has the platform here. So the platform makes it much more comfortable. As I said, it's got these little ridges here that make it easier to gain traction on a floor. So yeah, this is a very cute heel. I love it. As you can see, this navy blue. This is a shoe you can wear with a dress or with slacks, and it is a very sexy and very, very hot without being extremely uncomfortable to wear. Another shoe, sort of like for work, is this shoe. This is a, a nice nude shoe. And as you can see, that heel is about 2.5 inches. Not very high, but it still accomplishes the goal of the heel. These are comfortable, they're stylish. These are the like a Kate Middleton heels. If you can see from here, they've got the traction at the bottom, which is what I look for. So here is a boot, you guys. This is a nice hot red boot. And as you can see, this heel is, rather small. It's probably 1.5 inches. Although it's not very high, I mean, look at this boot, you guys. When I walk into a room wearing this, trust and believe, no one is looking at the heel. So you guys, there are alternatives to the sky-high heels that can be very uncomfortable. These have always been like the heels I've walked in. But at this point, you guys, I'm kind of over it. I just feel like at this point in my life, it's like coming out of prison, right? I've served my time. I've done my time in these types of heels. So at this point, I'm just over it. So ladies, when it comes to femininity and high heels, again, I am definitely a proponent of wearing a heel, but you can wear a heel that is comfortable and allows you to enjoy the date without having to worry about falling. So the next topic I'm going to discuss hits kind of close to home, and it involves alcohol and weed and all that. If you want to be feminine and alluring and sexy and appealing, you cannot do that if you are a heavy drinker or smell like weed all the time. It's important, you guys, to be aware of your habits and make the changes necessary to improve your life and to address certain issues. For example, I'll talk about mine. Alcoholism is a very real thing for me. It's something that runs in my family. My dad had issues with it. My brother had and still has issues with it. So I'm not a person who is I'm not a person who gets drunk, who's never gotten drunk. But I found myself, buying alcohol and having it, in the house, and I come home from work and have me a little taste. I never had more than 2 drinks, but, and I certainly didn't get drunk, but it had become an everyday thing. And because of my family history, I know that I am sort of, predisposed to, issues with alcohol. So I decided that I was no longer going to buy alcohol and have it in my home. Now, if I go out with friends, family, whatever, I'll have a cocktail or 2. But I decided not to drink at home because, although I don't have a drinking problem, I know I don't, I didn't want it to sort of snowball into one. Again, you have to be conscious, you have to be, honest and not bullshit yourself. This is something that, I have to watch because there is family history of alcoholism. Now, when it comes to smoking weed, you guys, I mean, in my state, Illinois, it'll be legal in January, and it's, practically legal now. And when it comes to that, you do your thing. But, most men don't want to meet or date a woman who goes around smelling like weed. Now, as time goes on, if you meet someone and the two of you, as partners, decide that that's something you want to do, I mean, obviously you're grown, do what you want. But that is not a good first impression, I don't believe. And sharing with someone that, yeah, I'm a smoker and all of that, in my opinion, is not a good first impression. That's something you do perhaps later on when you get to know this person, because you don't know what this person's viewpoint is on that. And so you don't want to scare them off, and have them thinking that you're some kind of druggie. Me personally, although of course I have tried it, that's not my thing. I've never been into weed. It's just, I don't like being high. I just don't like feeling like out of control like that, Plus, you guys, I mean, I get the munchies like a motherfucker, so I can't do that. And so, you know, just be aware of things that might be problematic for you. If you're a person who finds yourself coming home smoking weed every day, that could be a problem. If you are, you know, like me, who found yourself, you know, kind of, you know, coming home, having you a couple, you know, drinks after work, you know, that could be a problem or turn into a problem. So, I mean, I've changed, and like I said, I don't buy liquor to bring home anymore, but this is, you know, this is a recent change. It's been like in the last 30 days. So I don't want to make, you know, you guys think, oh, it's been years ago. It hasn't. It's been like in the last month or so. So hypergamy and self-improvement and the come up, part of it is that willingness to change and be honest about what needs to be changed. Now, a rather, you know, basic aspect of femininity is, of course, hair and makeup. You know, as you can see, honey, I am a makeup gal, and I change wig, honey, at the drop of a hat. But it's important, you know, you don't have to do that, of course, but I think everybody looks better with a bit of makeup on. That's just how it is. And it's important to learn how to do that for yourself. Now, you don't have to go all out. You know, you can use like some BB cream to, you know, even out your skin tone. Always have your brows done, because, you know, I'm a freak when it comes to my brows. And brows are important because they sort of frame the face. A little lip gloss might do, some mascara. When it comes to eyeshadow, a bronze eye or nude eye, that works. Or, you know, if you want to add in a bit of color, there are great YouTube videos like mine that have like makeup tutorials and get ready with me that can give you some tips. But I think that makeup and wearing makeup is something that's very feminine, and I mean, it improves everyone's look. And I mean, let's face it, it's what separates the plain James from the va-va-vooms that when you walk into the room, everyone looks at. Now, when it comes to hair, everyone has a different style. You know, whether you like weaves or wigs or braids is up to you. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying whatever you do, do it well. And do not be walking around with your tracks showing and your weave. You know, don't walk around with your braids, you know, 4 and 5 inch of growth out. That looks bad, it looks tacky, and it sends a certain image. Just get your hair redone, keep your hair looking good, whatever choice you make, whether it be natural, extensions, wigs, or whatever. It's important to keep your hair looking good. Men notice hair. That's one of the first things they notice. Another important aspect of femininity and upkeep is having good skin. I know I am very, very fortunate to have good skin. If skin is something that you struggle with, I would suggest going to a dermatologist, perhaps doing some research online if you cannot afford a dermatologist. But skin is very important. Again, it gives a certain impression. Now, I understand that certain people have certain skin conditions that they cannot help. The solution to that is simply to love the skin you're in. Accept it. Do the best you can with what you have, and be confident with what you have. One of the most important aspects of femininity, and you know, this might be a tough one to hear for some of you, but that is weight and how your body looks. We all know that men are visual creatures, and how you look, how your body looks is important to them. And as Black women, we also have the stigma of, you know, being overweight. And let's face it, a lot of us are overweight. So if you are a person who is challenged in that area, I mean, myself included, if you're a person where, you know, weight has been an issue throughout your life, one of the things I would suggest, and what I'm doing, is Weight Watchers. Because, I mean, of course, there are many weight loss support tools online. but for me, Weight Watchers is my preference. And what I like about Weight Watchers is that accountability. You know that every week you got to get your ass on that scale. And that accountability is helpful to me, and I think that sense of accountability might be helpful to some of you. In addition to like the weigh-in accountability, there are meetings which are like a support group. So if you are struggling with your weight, if it's an issue or if it's become an issue for you as you've gotten older, I am a proponent of Weight Watchers. It's a doable, livable program, unlike keto and Atkins. I mean, I tried both of those, but they're just not sustainable for me. When it comes to keto, I love popcorn. I refuse to live a life without popcorn. But when it comes to being feminine and alluring, you guys, you have to fight the good fight and do what is necessary to get your weight and keep your weight under control, and that involves working out as well. Do yoga, I play tennis, walk. As I've said in previous videos, what is the best exercise? The one that you will do. Two of the best ways to attract men, particularly high value men, are, first of all, to smile, and secondly, to look them in the eye. Throughout the years, I cannot tell you how many times that I have been told that I have a nice smile. And there are so many of you out there who have nice smile, but you don't smile. So it's really important to smile and be welcoming to people, because if you're looking all downtrodden and you have the, as they say, the resting bitch face, you can be the nicest person in the world, but no, I mean, men are going to be hesitant to approach you because you look mean. You got that stank face. So a smile sort of brightens everyone's face. If you are self-conscious about, like, for example, your teeth, obviously veneers are an option, but they are very expensive and not everybody can afford them. If you cannot afford veneers, bonding is much less expensive. And hey, if you are at a point, I don't care how old you are, if you are at a point where you need dentures, get them, because you know what, baby, ain't no shame in the game. So teeth are very important. Get your teeth clean, but obviously brush your teeth every day and use your teeth whitening products. And last but not least, I am going to wrap it up with put the past in the past. Move on with life. If you have bitterness and grudges and anger about certain aspects or certain things that happened in your past, go to counseling, go to therapy, work through that, because that will always hold you back. And also, you guys, you have to remember that when you have this type of like anger about situations that occurred in the past, you bring that to your new relationship. You could meet the most wonderful guy in the world who is protector, provider, and loves you and everything you want, but you will run him away with being short-tempered and things that trigger you from past relationships. You're bringing to him. I mean, let's be honest, you guys. No one wants to be with the bitch. No one wants to be with someone who is short-tempered and goes off at the slightest little thing. Someone who is aggressive. Ladies, you have to understand, when you are bitter and angry and hostile, it is completely counterproductive to the hypergamous lifestyle that you seek, because that type of aggression is not feminine, and masculine men want a feminine woman. So that's it, you guys. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please thumbs it up, and once again, do not forget to subscribe, and of course leave your comments, you guys. I love reading your comments and getting your feedback on these videos. So till next time, mwah.